Well, greetings, BUS22 students. This is Mr. Doucette, and I will be your instructor for Managerial Communications, Norco College, Fall 2026. And this video is just a quick little introduction to introduce myself to you and also to give you access to Canvas, how to log in, as well as to give you a quick overview of the course and show you how to navigate around our class in Canvas. So again, my name is Eric Doucette. I've been teaching at Norco College since 2016. I got hired full-time in 2020. I'm one of 6 full-time faculty in the business department here at Norco College, and my focus is predominantly general business, marketing, as well as communications, business and managerial communications. I pretty much exclusively teach all these courses. And this course is managerial communications, to distinguish it from business communications is a general, just a general overview of communications within the context of workplace. Managerial communications specifically to the role of being a manager in the workplace. And so we'll try and follow that thread throughout the course of this course. Another disclaimer I need to make with this class is that I am actually converting it as we are doing it to a ZTC free textbook class. Up to this point, we've been using a Cengage text, which costs about $60 for the ebook, and much, much higher if you actually buy a hard copy of the book. But we're working very aggressively to offer free textbook options to our students. And so I am working on it as a special project to convert this class to a free textbook class. So what you're going to see is somewhat of a work in progress. Week number 1, for the most part, is ready to go. I'll be working on week 2 this week and getting it ready to launch next Monday. But just keep in mind, I'm not going to be able to give you everything all at once. It's going to kind of come in waves or in sections. So each week will be ready when you come in on Monday to start working on it, but it doesn't mean you can work ahead, unfortunately. But the good news for you is you don't need to pay for a textbook. And in fact, I'm trying to integrate and build everything into Canvas. So even your text reading can be done in Canvas. And so each module will have different folders that you can step through. And as you click next, you'll get to the next one. And then you're basically reading the textbook, and then it'll bring you right to the quiz and right to the assignments. So bear with me, be patient with me. If something doesn't work or isn't right, please let me know right away. I had a student inform me this morning that the check-in assignment link wasn't working, so I was able to fix that. So just keep in mind it will be a work in progress, but hopefully you're happy that you don't have to pay for a textbook, and that you're going to be able to access everything you need in Canvas. So hopefully it'll be a lot easier for you, and be inspiring to you to not have to pay. So anyway, that's the plan. What I'm going to do is show you our class in Canvas. So this is one of the books that we're going to be using, Business Communication for Success. It's a LibreText. It's a free open educational resource. But like I mentioned, it's going to all be integrated or built into Canvas, so you don't even really need to go there. However, I will provide a link to the PDF of this book. We're not following it in order. We're just pulling different sections in to our course, but you're welcome to review it. There'll also be some other resources that I will also provide links to, PDF versions of, if you want to be able to access those to be able to do a little more further reading. But for the most part, if you just read the modules, you'll be doing pretty well. So let me start by showing you how to log into Canvas if you've never done that before. So what I'm going to do is go to the Norco College homepage. So I'm going to go there, norcocollege.edu. And then if I come right here to quick links, I can click quick links and then Canvas. Our class online is hosted in Canvas, which is a learning management software. Now it's going to ask you to log in, and your login should be your email address. So if you select that, now mine's already set up, so all I would need to do is to click password here for my name. It's all set up to do it with my fingerprint. Yours is going to be a little different. Your password is going to be your birth date if it's the first time you've logged in. So it's going to be the 2 days of your day, the 2 days of your month, and the 4 digits of your year. That's going to be your login with your email address. And then once you've signed in, it's going to bring you to Canvas. Now I have a two-factor thing here that's set up, so you probably will as well. I just have it send me a code. I don't like having to do the authenticator app. Anyway, that brings you then to the Canvas dashboard. And then this is where all of your classes that are online or have any kind of online component will be listed. Each folder here is the course online. And so this class is Business 22, Managerial Communication. So I'm going to select that, and that's going to bring me into the course homepage. And on the course homepage, I created a navigation table, so you can pretty much get to anything you need from this table right here. There's a Start Here button, which is what you should select right now. But I'm going to first go over the other items on the navigation table, but this is where we'll start when we get started. But as you notice, there's three modules or three numbers here. That's representative of each of the three modules. So this class is a 8-week class. So the first module is 3 weeks. The second module is 3 weeks, and the third module is 2 weeks. The first module focuses on business communications in general and presentations. So we'll be focusing a lot on giving presentations, and you'll actually be giving a presentation online and recording it. And I'll talk to you about that. I actually have a special Zoom session for that I'll be doing next week. The second module deals with business writing. So it'll be writing anywhere from 5 to 6 business documents, email, letters, memos, and also employment communications. And then that's the last module is employment. So you're basically going to be looking at job searching, writing a resume, understanding interview skills, writing a cover letter, etc. So that's how the class is broken up. It's general communications and presentations, business writing, and then employment communications and employment documents. And those are the three modules. So whatever week we're in, you'll note by the dates where you should be, and you can just select module 1 here. It'll bring you to the module. You can read the book right here in Canvas, and then when you get to the end of your reading, it'll go right into the course assignments for that week. There's also a syllabus button, so I always keep the latest and greatest syllabus right here. You can review it online. You can download it if you'd like. I already sent you a syllabus in the email I sent earlier, but you can certainly get the latest version right here. In fact, the version I sent you is already been changed because I selected a little bit different textbook. There's office hours, so if you need to meet with me for any reason, just select that during my office hours. So it'll tell you exactly when I'm available when you click that button. And it'll tell you when I'm available on campus, when I'm available online, or if you just want to set up a meeting with me that's not during my regular scheduled time, it gives you the option to do that. There's also a help button that has my contact information, my email, my phone number. It also has Canvas information. It also has the help desk for the college. So any kind of help you need, or it also has a forum. So if you just click reply, you can ask anyone in the class a question. Everyone can see it. I can see it. And it's a way to get some help as well. So that's pretty much the navigation table. If you ever get lost and you don't know where you're at, just come up here to the home button, click home, and it'll bring you right back to this screen, and then you're kind of starting over. So that's that. Let me go ahead and click the Start Here button because that's where you're going to want to start your first time into the class. So it's going to explain to you a welcome, what this class is all about, that it's an online class, how to navigate using a phone or tablet. It's a little different. You might not be able to find the home screen as easy, so you need to click the little arrow that points down next to the sunglasses, and that's going to give you this same menu that you see on the left over here. Then to get started, you definitely want to review and read the syllabus. You want to complete the mandatory check-in assignment. This is the first assignment required to stay in the class. So you need to do that by next Sunday, the first Sunday of the class. Make sure you do that or else you will be dropped. And then you can get started on reading through module number 1. Now, I do recommend before you go to module 1 that you do what's called the welcome module. There's one before that, and that's what the next button down here brings you to. So you're actually right now in the welcome module. So if you just click next, it'll step you through all the pages of the welcome module. And there's just pertinent information for you there. So for instance, if you click next, it's going to bring you to my biography. It tells you a little bit about myself and my background. If you select next, it gives you the fall schedule. So every week, what we'll be working on, each week, what assignments are due, etc., when the exams are due. And then it's going to give you the course syllabus again. So if you didn't download it on the other page, you can click here to view it or download it. Then it's going to bring you to the textbook. So again, we're going to be using free materials. I'm still completing this page because I'm still adding new material to it, but right now this is the one we're using for the first chapter. It's actually also an OpenStax book that we're using for the first week as well, but I'll be filling that out later today. If you select next, it brings you to an incredible page that another colleague created for all the student resources at Norco College, and all of these are clickable tabs to get what you need. Then there is a how to succeed in this course button page. It has all kinds of great helpful things to help you be successful. Then there's a academic honesty and etiquette policy page that you might want to review so that way you know how you should conduct yourself online. Then there's my communication and monitoring plan. Tells you how you can get a hold of me, how I plan on interacting with you, and you how you can interact with each other. Then there is an AI policy. So I do have an AI policy that I expect you to abide by. I'm not against using AI. I just want to make sure that you disclose that you're using it and that you're using it in the right fashion. So I have acceptable use and unacceptable use. So make sure you review that. And I will give you a 0 on an assignment that I suspect that there's AI use. So be prepared to defend yourself if it is not been AI, and I think it is. Then be prepared to give me reasons, and please don't become sensitive if I question it because it is prevalent now in the college that students are using it, and we're not against you using it. We just want you to use it in the right fashion. In other words, don't just cut and paste what AI gives you. Use it as a resource to do your own work. Anyway, then there's an instructor Q&A. So if you have any questions for me, you can click reply and ask any questions. I'll be reviewing that on a regular basis. There's also one between you and other students. So if you want to communicate with others in your class, you can click reply and pose a question or introduce yourself. And then it gets into the first assignment, which is a participation check-in assignment that I already mentioned. So this is how you can do it. You basically click reply. It looks like Caitlin and Austin already completed it. So make sure you complete that by the end of the first week of class. Then there's a welcome review, what you're going to be studying. And then if you just click next, you're going to start getting right into the course introduction. Again, you're going to just basically read. You don't need to go anywhere else. Just read all of this here. When you're done with each page, click next. It goes into the next page in the textbook, effective communications. And so you're just going to read through all of these folders. And when you get to the end of all these folders, and by the way, I labeled them 1A1. Now, this may be from chapter 3 of some OER book, I'm not sure, or chapter 1, but I labeled them with my own identifiers. That way we know exactly where we're at. So you got 1A, 1 through 4, 1B, 1 through 6, 1C, 1 and 2. I have a little bit more to add, but I'll be doing that today. And then you have your quiz. So once you get through all of these pages, you will come to quiz number 1. And that'll be a quiz that you can take. You get to take it 3 times. It's worth 12 and a half points. I have access denied because I'm not a student. Oh, it's unpublished. That's why I didn't publish it yet. I have it unpublished because I'm updating it still. So it'll be published by the end of today or early tomorrow, and then it'll have all the questions in it. But basically, you'll just come down and instead of saying preview, it'll say take quiz, and then you can take it. And you can take it 3 times. It'll always keep your best score. All right, and then when you're done with that assignment, you click next, or it'll bring you to the next one, and that's where you're going to start your first 2 assignments that you have 2 weeks or 3 weeks to complete. The first one is a discussion post. So this is where you're going to be doing the do's and don'ts of effective and ineffective business presentations. So you're basically going to be watching some videos and making a list of what you think you should and should not do when giving a presentation. And then you're also required to comment on other students' lists, update your lists. So you should have an initial list this week, comment on other students' lists next week. And then in week number 3, since you have 3 weeks to do it, you give me a final list of what you say are your top do's and don'ts of business presentations. So that's the first assignment. You have 3 weeks to do that one. And then you're going to be doing an individual presentation. So this is where you're going to be putting together a PowerPoint presentation, recording yourself giving it. It needs to be 5 minutes long, you can record it in Zoom, you can record it in PowerPoint, you can record it in Prezi or any other software that you know how to use. PowerPoint's probably the easiest. but it'll actually allow you to have your slides in the background, a little picture of you giving the presentation. You're going to record it and upload it, and that's one of your major assignments for this first module or for the first 3 weeks. So I will be doing a Zoom session on this next week. So if I came back here to modules and I came down to fall schedule and I selected that, it's going to tell you when that Zoom session is. So there's going to be a Zoom session Wednesday, September 2nd at 10 a.m. And I will be going over effective and ineffective business presentations as well as the individual presentation project. And so you can tune in there, you can ask questions. I'll be going over all of that with you. All right, that's next week. So, all right, well, that's pretty much it as a welcome video. You'll be seeing me on video every week. I'll try and give you a little bit more content for what you'll actually be studying, maybe a little bit of instruction, but I don't want to make these too long because then students won't watch them for sure. So anyway, have a great first week. And if you need anything, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Until next week, see you soon.